I introduced my boyfriend to my family and they blindsided him during dinner. I need help. I, 25F, have been dating this guy, 33M, for 9 months now. He's amazing and I'm head over heels for him and he's the same for me. My boyfriend had a tough past. He had a rough upbringing and spent some time in prison over a decade ago. Once he got out, he turned things around and managed to build a very good life for himself. I found out about his past on our third date. I asked him about a small tattoo on his arm, which turned out to be a tattoo of the date he was released from prison. None of that mattered to me because it was in the distant past. I briefly mentioned it to my sister one day and did not go into any details about it. My sister and I have always shared things about the guys we date and I always thought it would stay between us. Or so I thought. On Sunday, I introduced my boyfriend to my parents for the first time. We went over to their house for dinner and everything was going well until my dad brought up at the dinner table the fact that my boyfriend had spent time in jail. It blindsided my boyfriend and I did not tell them about it beforehand, so I immediately realized it must have been my sister. My parents proceeded to question him about all that, asking why he was in there and making jokes like, "It takes a certain someone to go to jail," and "You don't go to jail for no reason." Those things were said in a jokingly way, but it felt condescending and I'm sure my boyfriend felt it too. We ended up cutting dinner short and I had an individual conversation with my dad and basically told him that what they did wasn't cool and that I was mad. He kept saying they were joking, but it didn't feel that way. I apologized to my boyfriend on our way home and he just said, "It's okay, babe. It's to be expected." He said it in a defeated way, which told me that he was hurt. He never said this to me, but I imagine that being judged over one's past, especially when you've built a great life for yourself, must feel awful. I feel so guilty for all of this, and although he seems fine, I feel like it affected him more than he wants to tell me. I don't know what to do. I regret not being more vocal. When all of it was happening, I'm not good at confrontations. I've been thinking of calling my parents and telling them they need to apologize to him as soon as possible, but my sister, who I confronted, says I should let some time pass and make them apologize next time we see each other, which is God knows when. What should I do? Edit. I know about his past criminal actions and he told me about them on the third date I mentioned. And yes, I've seen documents. He did time for illegally selling firearms and drugs with his father. He grew up in a very abusive household and his abusive dad had a business of selling illegal guns and drugs. The dad got my boyfriend involved at a young age and that's how he got caught up in it. Long story short, my boyfriend ended up getting a good deal, did time and was already out by the age of 22. Yeah, he did bad things that a lot of people don't do, but that doesn't make him a bad person for life, and he really turned his life around and is doing very good. I'm not going to judge him for something that happened a long time ago. Under circumstances that I will never be able to relate or understand because I had a very good upbringing. He just has a lot of baggage which he went to therapy for, and the story isn't black and white. I get that my family were concerned and I don't have any problem with that at all. It's the way they chose to approach it. You don't have to be very condescending or rude if you have concerns. It's the way they handled it that I did not like. Yeah, maybe I should have approached this differently. Maybe I was being stupid, but I wanted them to meet him, see how nice he is, and then tell the story because I was afraid they wouldn't give him a chance. As for the age gap, I don't know what you want me to say. I've never thought about it much because it's quite insignificant to me personally. I'm not financially dependent on him or anything, I'm doing very good by myself.